Hello guys, today we are going to learn climate and vegetation of Europe. First, under climate and vegetation of Europe comes factors affecting the climate of Europe. Now, there are some factors that can affect the climate of Europe. What are the factors that are influencing the climate of it? First is latitude, second is nearness to the sea, third is in the second page, that's the North Atlantic Drift, and the fourth one is the westerlies. First, let's see what the latitude does. Now, we all know that Europe lies between latitudes 35 degree north to 73 degree north. Okay, Europe's latitude is 35 degree north to 73 degree north. It lies in the cool temperate zone. Because it lies in the cool temperate zone, it mostly has temperate climate. Predominantly means mostly. Okay, this gives Europe a predominantly temperate climate. This means it mostly gives it temperate climate. What gives it temperate climate? Because it lies in the cool temperate zone. Cool temperate zone, temperate climate. Only a small part of Europe which lies in the frigid zone, it has low temperatures. A small part of Europe lies in the frigid zone. The entire Europe lies in the cool temperate zone, but a small part also lies in the frigid zone. So the part that lies in the frigid zone has low temperatures. Okay, entire Europe lying in cool temperate zone has temperate climate, and the part lying in frigid zone has low temperatures. Then we have nearness to the sea. The deep penetrating arms of the sea brings its moderating influence further into the continent. The effect of the sea is felt even in Eastern Europe, far away from the Atlantic Ocean. Now, the second one is the nearness to the sea. The deep penetrating, that is penetrating means extending. So the deep extending arms of the sea, because of the deep extending arms of the sea, there is a moderating influence into the continent. The moderating influence means the sea's effect. Okay, there is a sea's effect in the continent because of the deep extending arms of the sea. If any area will be near to the sea, there will be a difference in the climate because the sea will make certain changes. Here we will also learn that why oceans have a moderating influence, why the effect on climate, that we will learn. The effect of the sea is felt even in Eastern Europe. Now the effect of the sea is felt even in the Eastern Europe, that is far away from the Atlantic Ocean. The Eastern Europe is far away from the Atlantic Ocean. Then also the effect of the sea is felt there. Now you can understand that how greatly it affects the climate of Europe. Now let's understand how and why the oceans have a moderating influence on climate. Now see, land and water get heated in different ways that you should know. Okay, land breeze, sea breeze and all that you should know. That land and water get heated in different ways. Now the process by which the land get heated is called conduction, and the process by which the water is heated is called convection. This forms the first point, that the land gets heated by the process of conduction and water gets heated by the process of convection. Conduction, convection, easy. Then we have land, which is made up of rocks, is a bad conductor of heat. Hence, the heat is not easily passed to the soil particles below the surface. The thin surface of the land gets rapidly heated. Now, if you know, bad conductor of heat means it will not allow the heat to pass through them. So now the land is made up of rocks, that easy, that you should know. So if the land is made up of rocks is a bad conductor of heat, so land is also a bad conductor of heat. So now it will not allow the heat to pass through them. Okay, so that's why it will not pass the heat from itself, through itself, to the soil particles that is below the surface. That is why the thin surface that is over the, that means the thin surface that is actually the land, gets heated. Okay, the thin surface of the land gets rapidly heated because it is not passing the heat to any other soil particles. That way it gets heated. Now the third point says that the land is a good conductor of good radiator of heat. Although it is a bad conductor of heat, it is a good radiator of heat. Now what does the radiator means? Good radiator of heat means that it gives out heat very rapidly. Okay, it will not absorb heat, it will not allow heat to pass through them, but it will give out heat very rapidly. Now, because it is a good radiator of heat, the thin surface, here we learned know that the thin surface of land gets rapidly heated. So now that thin surface of the land now is giving out heat very rapidly, and then it will cool down. If it will give heat, then it's obvious that it will cool down. Okay, these are the 3 points. Now, therefore, land heats up and also cools down faster than water. Because of this, land is warmer than the ocean in the summer and cooler than the ocean in the winter. Now, remember that the land heats up and also cools down faster than water. Okay, it is important to remember. So, thus, oceans have a moderating influence on which type of regions? On coastal regions. And the interiors of continents are hot in summer and very cold in winter. That means the continents are too hot in summer and very cold in winter. Interiors of continents means the people who will live there will feel hot in summer and cold in winter. Got it? Now, let's come to terms to note. Then we will come to the box above. Equable climate, extreme climate, annual range of temperature. This is too easy, children. See, equable climate means the climate in which summers are not very hot or winters are not very cold. But in extreme climate, it's vice versa. Summers are very cold, winters are very hot. Summers are very hot and winters are very cold. Now, extreme means very. This you will remember, I know. Extreme means very. So, extreme climate, very hot, very cold. Easy. Now, the annual range is small. How is the annual range? Annual range is small and annual range is wide. Extreme means wide. So, extreme means wide, annual range is wide. Okay. Now comes the annual range of temperature. See, the annual range of temperature, it is the difference between the highest and the lowest temperature in the year. Okay, it is a difference between the highest and the lowest temperature in the year. Now, how it is obtained? You have to subtract highest temperature from the lowest temperature from the highest temperature to get the annual range of temperature. Is it clear? Easy. Now let's come to the Europe can be divided into following climatic regions. First is British type, second is continental type, third is Mediterranean type, fourth is taiga, fifth is tundra. Now, see, these divisions you should at least know 4 or you should at least know 2. Actually 2. So, how to remember that I'll tell you. British type, Western Europe, then Northwestern France, Belgium, Netherlands, Denmark, Western Norway, British Isles and Iceland. In British type, it's better if you learn Iceland and Denmark. Denmark and Iceland is located together if you know. Then ice, Markland, Iceland, Denmark. It's easy. British type, Denmark, Iceland. Then we have continental type. Grasslands include steeps. Now continental type. Central Europe, Eastern Europe, Russia. Here Central Europe and Eastern Europe. Cut central, write eastern. Central means middle, Eastern means east, towards east. Middle's east. Okay. So Central Europe, Eastern Europe. Learn these two. Mediterranean type. Here you should learn Spain and Italy. It's cool. Or you may learn Greece even. Spain, Italy or Greece. That will be easy for you to learn. Okay, then we have, see, if you want any shortcut, Mediterranean type, remember SI. SI unit of this, SI unit of that we learn, right? Remember SI. Spain, Italy. Got it? Then we have taiga, coniferous or boreal forest. Now taiga is a coniferous or boreal forest. That's why it's written in bracket. Here are three. You can remember Russia, Siberia, Siberian lady dance. Remember Siberia, then Russia, Norway. Any three. Okay. Norway, Siberia, that Siberian lady dance. Remember, taiga. Then we have tundra, northern parts of Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia. Now here don't mess up that the northern parts only belongs to Norway. It belongs to all parts. Northern parts of Norway, northern parts of Sweden, northern parts of Finland, and northern parts of Russia. Norway is here also. Okay, here also. Where it went? Norway, Norway, Russia. It's better to learn both of them here. See, same. Just you have to add northern parts here and nothing else. Okay. Now, main characteristics of European climate. See, in both there is an exception that only except in Russia, the climate of Europe is moderate almost everywhere. Just Russia does not have a moderate climate, and in second one, only in Eastern Europe there is no abundant rainfall. Otherwise, most of the Europe receives abundant rainfall. Okay. Then we have the North Atlantic Drift. The effect of the warm North Atlantic Drift, which washes the Atlantic coast of Europe, is that it makes the western coast of Europe much warmer than places in similar latitudes on other continents. The effect of the North Atlantic Drift is felt as far north as the Arctic coast, where the seaport of Murmansk remains ice free even in winter. Now, this North Atlantic Drift, the effect of this warm, it's warm. Remember that it's warm. So the effect of this warm North Atlantic Drift is that it makes the western coast of Europe much warmer. The effect of this warm Atlantic Drift is that it makes the western coast of Europe much warmer than places in similar latitudes on other country. It makes the western coast of Europe so much warmer that it is that than the places that are present in the similar latitudes but on other continents. Okay, so it is try to understand that it is so warm that it makes the western coast of Europe much warmer. Which coast? Western coast of Europe. And what it does, it washes away the Atlantic coast of Europe. Okay, what the North Atlantic Drift does, it washes away the Atlantic coast. Atlantic Drift, Atlantic coast, washes the Atlantic coast. Atlantic Drift washes the Atlantic coast. The effect of North Atlantic Drift is felt as far north as the Arctic coast. Now it is felt even in the north. Now how to guess that it is means it is felt even in the north? Here it says that Arctic coast, in the Arctic coast, seaport of Murmansk is located. Okay, now the seaport of Murmansk, it is in Arctic coast. That means it should remain ice. Okay, means it should remain iced even in winter. Actually, all the time. Summer it's okay. Now in winter it should be. But because of this warmer North Atlantic Drift, it does not remain iced. It remains ice free even in winter. Arctic coast. Try to understand the effect of this warm North Atlantic Drift. Then we have the westerlies. The warm westerly winds blow into Europe, making it warmer than it otherwise would have been. These winds pick up moisture as they blow over the North Atlantic Drift and give a fair amount of rainfall. Now, this westerlies blow from southeast to northwest. Southwest to northeast. Westerlies blow from west to east. Southwest to south, northeast. Okay. Now, the warm westerly winds, these blow into the Europe. Okay, and these winds make Europe warmer. These only make it so warmer that it otherwise could have been. Okay, now these winds they blow from the North Atlantic Drift, so they pick up moisture from there and it gives abundant rainfall, fair amount of rainfall, abundant rainfall. Now, Norway, the land of midnight sun. Now, do you know that in Norway, the sun is visible for 24 hours only in summer. In winter, it is visible. It is on in complete darkness. In winter, Norway is in complete darkness. Okay, not only Norway, the northern part of Norway, Sweden, Finland, and northern Russia. It's all there in the part of tundra. Okay, all these. So now these why? Because they are tilted towards the sun in summer and they remain in complete light for 24 hours because they are tilted towards the sun. That is why the sun is visible even at the midnight. And in winter, this region remains in the complete darkness. Why? Because it will there in the opposite side, right? It will now tilt in the opposite side. Now come to the note that is given aside. The westerlies blow in the temperate latitudes between 30 degree north and 60 degree south of the equator. Now this box you have to pay attention a bit because teachers can frame question here, describe westerlies. 3 marks questions can be framed because 3 points are there. So now the westerlies blow in the temperate latitudes. Okay, they blow in the temperate latitudes between 30 degree north and 60 degree south of the equator. The second point is they blow from the lower latitudes to the higher latitudes. Because they blow from the lower latitudes to higher, low to higher, that is why they are felt as warm winds. Okay, then they blow from the sea to land because now see, they blow from sea to land. That is why they pick up moisture from the sea and then give off rain in the form of rain to the land. That is why they are called rain bearing winds. Now they will blow from west to east, that I told you. Okay, so in the west, it will give plenty of rainfall to the western margins of the continents, and the amount of rainfall will decrease slowly as it will go towards the east. Okay, clear? Now for this, I will show you a table. You can learn through that. Okay, no need of explanation here. Now come to adaptation of plants to environment. Okay, now first is Mediterranean vegetation. The vegetation is adapted in different ways to withstand the hot and dry summers. See, now the vegetation here is adapted in different ways. Why? Because of the hot and dry summers. Okay, now hot and dry summers will completely end up the vegetation. That is why the vegetation is adapted in different ways. Tall trees are rare. Tall trees are mostly not there because if tall trees were there, it's obvious that it will dry up because it will be more nearer to the sun. And oak, walnut, almond, fig, as well as kedar pines and firs are found here. Now these are the cold trees, right? They have a sloping and all, so they are modified for this. So that's why they are found. Trees like the cork oak have thick spongy barks that prevent excessive loss of moisture. Grapevines develop very long roots in search of water. Plants like lemon, orange, and laurel have small leathery leaves to reduce water loss through transpiration. The olive tree has waxy leaves to check water loss. Now, cork oak trees are found here. Okay, now these cork oak trees, they are modified and they are having thick spongy barks. Okay, now they have thick spongy barks. Why? To prevent the loss of water. Okay, the loss of moisture. To prevent the more loss of water, the thick spongy barks are present in cork oak. Cork oak. Now grapevines. Now grapevines, they have very long roots so that they can go to very long distance and search for water. Then plants like lemon, orange, and laurel have small leathery leaves to reduce water loss. Now, if the leaves will be small, the loss of water through transpiration will be reduced. That is why they have small leaves, leathery leaves. Then olive tree has waxy leaves to check water loss. Now these olive tree is extra modified. It has waxy leaves to check the water loss, how much water loss it is losing. Then taiga vegetation, coniferous forest. Now if coniferous forest, that means that the trees will be conical in shape and they will be having that needle like branches so that the snow slides off easily and they will prevent damage to the trees, like, right? If you know, see, coniferous trees conical in shape. cone. They are in cone shape. So why they are in conical in shape? So that the snow slides off. These taiga vegetation means snow. That is why. So that the snow slides up through the branches easily, and there will be no damage to the trees. Then they have needle shaped leaves, so that the loss of water through transpiration is reduced. That's why they have needle like shape. They have thin leaves. The trees bear woody cones instead of flowers, which helps in conserving water. Now the trees do not have flowers; they have woody cones, and that woody cones help in conservation of water. These forests yield softwood, which is very useful in manufacture of paper. Now, these forests, taiga vegetation forests, they give us softwood that is useful in manufacture of paper, matchsticks, furniture, and many other things. Hence, lumbering is an important industry in this region, especially in Norway. This is very important. Underline this line that lumbering is an important industry in taiga vegetation, especially in Norway. Alpine vegetation. The height above which is too cold and windy for trees to grow is called the tree line. Now there is a specific line that is called tree line, and the trees will not grow above the tree line, okay, because the height will be way too much above, and it will be too cold and windy for the trees to grow. That is why. Beyond the tree line, only low-lying perennial bushes and shrubs grow. See, only low-lying perennial bushes and shrubs grow there. Close to the ground, they spend less energy in growing new tissue in summer, and they are completely covered by an insulating layer of snow. This type of vegetation is found in the Alps, hence the name alpine vegetation. Now, see, the tree will not grow beyond the tree line, but only the low-lying perennial bushes and shrubs, they will grow. Okay, when they stay close to the ground, they will spend less energy in growing new tissue in summer, and that they are completely covered by a thick layer of snow. Okay, they are completely good layer of snow, insulating good layer. Okay, now that this type of vegetation will only be found in Alps. That is why it's named alpine vegetation. Got it? Now see, these are the coniferous trees. See, snow is covered and slowly it will just slide off through the branches. It's needle shaped and it's cone in shape. That's why. And see the thick bark of the oak. It's so thick to prevent the loss of water. Now, wildlife of Europe. There are not many wildlife animals in Western Europe. Small animals like foxes, deer, wolves, rabbits, beavers, hedgehogs, and squirrels are found here. Now, there are not many wild animals found in Western Europe. Only few are found, like foxes are found, deer, wolves, rabbits, hedgehogs, and squirrels. Any four you have to learn. Any four. Then here, antelopes, horses, and wolves are found in temperate grasslands. This is of Western Europe. This is of temperate grasslands. So any two you should remember. At least horses and wolves here. See, anywhere it's given 3, remember at least 2. Where it's given more than 4, remember 4. Okay. Not much wildlife is found in Mediterranean forest, since most of the natural vegetation has been removed to make land available for agriculture. Now, why is not much wildlife found in Mediterranean forest? This can form a give reason question. Okay, so the answer will be because most of the natural vegetation has been removed. Okay, natural vegetation means what? The food for them that will work as a food for them. They have removed so that land can be used for agriculture. Then we have animals found in the coniferous. Animals found in the coniferous trees are few, and most of them are small. Fur-bearing animals like the lynx, mink, sable, and squirrel are found here. They are trapped for their valuable fur. See, in coniferous forest, only few or small animals will be found. Okay, and all animals will have their body covered with fur. That's why they are trapped. They are captured for their fur. Now, animals are lynx, mink, sable, and Squirrel. Then we have some animals migrate south during the cold season and return when conditions become warm again. Some animals, like bears, hibernate during some winter. Now, some animals migrate means they go from their actual place from to other place. Okay, so some animals migrate south. Some animals go to the south during the cold season, because in south during the cold season there will be means good climate. Okay, that's why, and return when conditions become warm again. And when the conditions will become warm, they will return to their own place. Some animals, like bears, hibernate during winters. They go into a long sleep, winter sleep. Then we have, okay, first let's discuss what's hibernation then. Hibernation means winter sleep. Animals not adapted to the extremes of climate pass the season in an inactive state of in trees or underground burrows, living on stored food. Now, the animals that are they are the animals who are not adapted to the extreme climate, to the extreme winter climate, they pass their season in an inactive state. Okay, in a state in which they are not active, they do not work. Or else they will stay in trees or in the underground burrows, and they will live on the food that is stored. The reindeer is the most important animal of the tundra. The reindeer provides meat and milk. Its skin is used for clothing tents, its bones are used as needles, while its internal organs provide vitamins and salts needed by the human body. Whales, seals, walruses, and fish are found in the seas bordering the coast. Animals like the Arctic fox, polar bear, um, muskox, and the sable that are found here usually have thick fur outside and a woolly undercoat to stay warm. Now, this is also a cold reason. Reindeer is the most important animal here. Okay, and here also all the animals have a woolly undercoat and a thick fur so that they could keep themselves warm. Okay, then these reindeers, they provide meat and milk. Its skin is used for clothing and tents, to make clothes and tents. Its skin is used, and its bones are used as needles. Its bones are used as needles, and its internal organs provide vitamins and salts needed by human being. So it's so useful animal for us, but we are killing us. We are killing them for these things. So question can come, which is the most important animal of tundra and how is it useful? Okay, so the answer will be here. So it's important to know at least two or four animals of every one. Actually, see, four is just for your safety, and two is the actual number, according to me, if I think. But sometimes the question also comes for 2 marks and asks for four. One bears half a mark. That's why I told you. Explain the effect of the following factors on climate of Europe. See, the answer of both of these you will find in page 86. This part. Okay? Not whole paragraph. You can write from effect to continents here, and you can write here, you have to write whole. Okay. Then state the main characteristics of the climate of Europe and name the 5 climatic regions of Europe. Main characteristics of climate of Europe you will find the first page 85 here. Whole box. You have to write the whole box. The answer, okay? Answer of 2. Then 3. State and explain the type of climate experienced by the following countries or regions. I told you that I will show the table of it. Okay, the answer you will find it here. I will show you the table. That will help you a lot. What is the characteristic vegetations of the regions named in one? That means, wait. Here of this also you will find it in the box also only, okay? But these questions will usually does not come. You should just have a look. You should have an idea of all the areas. True and false. Deciduous trees of the temperate zone shed their leaves in winter. Deciduous trees are the evergreen trees, so they will never shade their trees in winter. This will false, okay? Cyclones of temperate latitudes are called depressions. Deciduous trees of temperate zone shed their leaves in winter. That is true. It's seasonal. It leaves they shade the leaves seasonal. Cyclones of temperate latitudes are called depressions. That's true. The westerlies are offshore winds in Western Europe. That's false. It's onshore winds. Croatia receives winter rain. That's true. Citrus fruits are cultivated in the Mediterranean region. That's true.